Welcome back to Raiders of the North Atlantic, and let's go ahead and get started. I play the Germans, and I will subject you to my terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger accent. Yes, I know he's not German. Okay, no, I'll stop that. That would be, wait a minute. All right, first thing we need to do is realize we have two possibilities here. I need to stop these convoys, or interdict, as it were. Like I said before in the preliminary remarks, all we have to do is engage them. We don't actually have to battle them and sink them. They're considered captured once we do that. One thing I need to note, because I've laid this before, I know they start a blockade either, I think it's in that square, which makes tricky, which means I want to break this guy out. There is a problem. This is the Vidder, which is AC, armored cruiser. As you can see, it has terrible extreme range. It's slow. And I didn't even notice this. You'll be like, okay, Vidder, oh, it takes one hit and then it's flipped. And wait a minute, what's with the Orion? Well, turns out the Vidder is a one-hit and sunk ship. This ship's made of styrofoam. And so the weather is good. I almost sit here and wonder if that should just sit there until the weather gets bad and then move out, because I have to go through here, and going through here is brutal, because there's so many airfields, and all I got to do is roll a airstrike, and I can't imagine it surviving that. I think ultimately, however, I have to try to break out. And I think that's really what this scenario is trying to teach us, is that you need to break out and just do your best. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try that and hope we can do that without trouble. So we're going to start with a trajectory action here. The coast here. We're still 1-2 away. The problem is I got to tolerate being 1 away from here. And it doesn't do me a whole lot of good to go up here, because guess where I got to be up here? Okay, so I think I can stave off having fun. I mean, they're still in range. It's a 2 hex range. Nothing I can do about that. So if I go up here, it'll be a 2 hex range. And then I got to come in within 1 hex. And there's no good going here, because then, I mean, okay, so I got to be in 1 hex for at least 2 segments. And there'll be a 1 hex here. I wonder if we better just go here. Just make a trajectory that doesn't. And 2. So I'm going to stretch out a little. I may be dreaming. And maybe try to intercept here. Our intelligence tells us we got a convoy going this way. So we're going to direct the Vidder. Try to meet him in the middle. Okay, that's first trajectory. Next one, if you recall from our tutorials, making trajectories does not yield up the initiative, so we can do this as much as we have task force for. I also have the graph here, rather than move the camera, I will move the task force display. We have the graph as a reinforcement. We'd have to roll to get it in. And that's a little stronger ship. That's a pocket battleship. It's still 1 to damage it. But it's medium, so it's faster than the other one. The question is, when do we want to try to bring that in? Over here, oh, well, hang on. Once again, we got an airfield, and I hate these airfields, something fierce. I hate them. But there's nothing to be done. There's a 2 hex range. I'll try to intercept here. Do something like that. Now, do I try to bring in the reinforcements this time and risk giving up the initiative? Or do I try a naval search and also risk? Well, I'll tell you what. And the decision here is this is only 2 away from being within completion range. I think I got to make a move on this guy as soon as possible. See if we can't pin him down. I think that's what I'm going to do. So it's a tough decision to go there or there. And, I saw a comment somewhere at Board Game Geek. Someone said, oh, there's not enough decision. I'm sorry, that's just silly. I mean, there's just the trajectory, figuring out how long you want your trajectories, whether they should be short or long, whether you're obscuring. I mean, there's just a lot to think about when you do this. So, I mean, this is fun. Okay, so I think I need to do a naval search here. I think. So where are my little tokeny guys? This will be our active force. I like to go ahead and mark it, even though I don't. I can see where everything goes. We're going to do that. We're going to search there. We cannot bring in any kind of support. The British could bring in support here, but I happen to know, and I'll show you. Where's my chart of goodness? Air support at 2 hexes away would only support you with a 0 modifier. So that's why I was like so careful about where I'm putting these. I'm trying to stay within a 2 hex range as much as possible on that one hand. Of course, when they get their turn, they can just airstrike and they'll be 1 hex away, and they'll, there's nothing I can do about that. Naval search, and okay. Is he going to bring in any support? No, he's not going to. We'll make that ruling for him. It wouldn't make any sense. So, how do we we need a trajectory number for a naval search. That would be my task force. 1, 2, 3, plus their task force. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll be rolling on the 11 column. With no modifiers. Straight up. 2 die roll. 7, that's not bad. Not great, not bad. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get it done. It is a early or late. So, that comes out. Now, as the active player, I get to decide whether I'm early or late. Well, that's going to be neat. If he had an evasive maneuvers market, he could play that and says, no, I decide. And I think the rules say you play an evasive marker at earliest available opportunity for the imaginary player. Now, I don't want him to complete, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and say we're early. Intelligence tells us we're early. We did our search, couldn't find anything. Must be early. So we're going to plot that. I'm going to pull that off. And now, who, where, what, why? Let me look at my naval search. Haven't totally internalized these, so I need to look and look. There was no intel marker on us, so there was no interruption, but there is time lapse for us. Yes. Well, it says, after you do all this, all time lapse for all designated TFs. That means except the target TF, so not them. And then he's gonna have a chance to seize the initiative. Now, as far as remember, I can, and this is a rule I went over here. I know because he's a medium that I'm going to remove 3 trajectory segments for my time lapse. That means it's going to turn into a station. And the thing you want to remember is that it can be any of these. It doesn't have to be the one in the target hex. I can stay way back here or something like that. 1, 2. What I might consider doing, 1, 2, is staying just out of airfield range. I can always trajectory back. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's kind of a smart way. If you can stay out of airstrike range, I'm slowly learning the hard way. That is a good way to be. Okay, so the British get to try to seize the initiative. They need a 9. They get an 8. No good. But that does mean that next time they get a +1 to their die roll. So it is still my initiative. And I would be tempted to start cranking on this. But these guys slip away so darn fast that I think I need to try to pin him down and get him. And gets him. I think I'm going to continue. While I've got my searches narrowed. Again, where was that? Oh, yeah, it was there. I think. And we're going to split them here. We're going to do the same thing. Find this guy. Find the guy. All right, our die roll is a little better this time. Unfortunately, he can, and as using common sense for the... Hold on one sec. Yes, I double checked that. Even when they can use air support, he will use air support. He will launch from there. I don't like that. Okay. Active task force. Let's go ahead and mark it just so we're never confused. Search in there. Or actually it would be search like so. Okay, so trajectory total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on the 5 to 9 column. That helps us. We need a big roll. However, he's within a 1 hex range. I believe that is a -1 to our die roll. It is. It's a -1 to our die roll. Ah, man, that must be. And I can mark it like that. British with a modifier of 1, which I just interpret as a negative. All right. Big roll, big roll. 8 to a 7. Arg. That is a shadowing result. And that's a undesirable result in this case. Remove all but 3 of the target's trajectory segments. The active player removes the segments, but the segment in the target space may not be removed. If the trajectory has only 3 or fewer segments to begin with, none are removed, and the target trajectory earns an evasive maneuvers marker. Well, that didn't go the way I wanted. It did not. Okay, so I give him an evasive maneuvers marker. We're done there. We're going to what do you call it? Time lapse. And since I want to be out of range as best as possible, I think I'm going to do this, this, and this for the 3. Which I can do as far as I know. Okay, now the British are going to seize initiative again. Try to at least. And they roll a big fat 10. So the initiative is going to pass hands. Now, as always, when the initiative changes hands, we're going to check the weather. It'd be really nice if it went bad. I could do a lot more stuff. It does not. It stays good. So now, what are the British going to do? We're going to roll on this table. 0 convoys have completed or been destroyed, so we roll on this row here. 1d6. They roll a 2. Oh, what I didn't want. And that's our fan, the airstrike. Wow. Okay. Airstrike, he's going to pick the closest, obviously the most effective task force here. Let me take a look. So I have 4 possibilities for them on this task force. There's adjacent, there's adjacent, there's adjacent, there's adjacent. So let us randomize this. I kind of think he wouldn't take the very front end, but I'll leave it there. We're going to roll a little D8, and that would amount to the second one. So here, which makes sense. Scapa flow, sure, why not? So they're going to launch from here, and they're going to strike there. Yes. So we need a trajectory total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That'll be the 11 column of the airstrike table. Okay, it's not terrible, but they do unfortunately get a +2 for being adjacent to their die roll. And we may see the weather go down already. That's going to be unfortunate. Let's see. A 6 + 2 would be an 8. Ah, phooey. No, we're good. Let me, yeah, I'll pull it out here. Mm-hmm. 8. I don't know if you can see that or not. Contact and a hit against a very slow. The good news is we're not very slow. We are just slow. So we're not going to get sunk. Isn't that good? But they are going to get contact. And where are my contact markers? Come here. Oh. Who organizes this place? I want answers. Okay, contact marker. Now, after a semi-successful airstrike, no intel, making sure that. Time lapse. All designated TF. There is no TF. I assume, yeah, there is no designated task force in here, so it is time for us to try to seize or vie. We're going to vie for the initiative. And that's a little easier on us, I think, because it's just a die versus die, as opposed to trying to get a 9. Let's hit it. Oh, tie ball game, which means they keep the initiative. We'll get +1 on our next roll, and that means we roll on the magic action chart again. 2. That's another airstrike. Oh, brother. Now, here's where it gets real. Here's where I don't think we're gonna survive. Okay. Because now it's no longer just the 4. We got a contact marker here, which gives him a big bonus. That is the one he would take. The bot would take for certain. And so, launch, strike, +2 for being adjacent. Slow ship +3. We're looking at a +5 modifier on the 11 table side. We're not doomed, but it's not looking good. Ooh, that's not going to get it done. That's a 14. Isn't it? 5 is 9. Yeah, 14. I remember. Okay. That is contact and a hit on a slow mark. Okay, we don't even have to calculate. That's going to sink our poor little Vitter. Down she goes. I kind of thought that would happen. You just roll. You're kind of really just gambling when you get in there. So, I'm already in the victory point hole. That task force is gone. Too bad. Okay. So, and now we vie for the initiative again. We get +1 to our die. Yes, we're going to take the initiative. So, The weather stays good. All right, now I gotta think. I can try to bring in the garage spray before, well, I want to start fighting. And I want this trajectory as short as humanly possible so I can get on a good chart. But that's going to be no different. That would be 1, 2, 3 versus 1. That would be 5 versus 6. That would not get us into a new column. So it doesn't matter which one. And I do still want to... Oh, it doesn't matter. He'll be right on my butt either way. But we do want to split in case we get the early late result. Oh, wait a minute. I got to actually roll for it. Come on, man. Okay. Active force. Searching here. This is going to yield a -1 to the result. Naval search. Rolling on the 6 column. I put that mark. Yeah, I just kind of like to put it there like that so I don't have to search for it. All right, well, -1. Let's see if we get something good. Oh, hey, this might work out. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Oh, it's that thing again. Oh, wait a minute. Would he have used? He probably would have. Yes, and by the way, you need the rules say the clarification from the designer was with evasive markers, you do need to call your shot before you roll the dice. So if you were going to use an evasive marker to modify the roll, you would need to say that before the roll. If you're playing a formal game, if you're playing a loose game, you could say, hey, if you see the die roll and you see it would make a difference, you can do it. But we're going to play it kind of a little more formally. So, should I count? Well, I don't think it makes a difference. It doesn't. It's only a -1. That would make it from a 9 to an 8, which wouldn't make any difference. Oh, but he would spend it and get it back as a thing. So you only get one evasive marker at a time for task force. You don't just stack them up. But yeah, we got the shadowing result again. And it's only 3 trajectories. And I need a 10 or 11 to be effective. So I may have just be burned. Oh, we do get contact. We do get contact. And I should have put that there on the first thing so I wouldn't forget. So contact is here. Let's say, well, I guess I have to punish myself for not thinking of the evasive maneuver actor. Let's say they burned it. And now they're going to earn it again because we're not going to be able to remove any of these segments. Okay, so, but we did get a contact, so we are making progress. Now the question is, do I want to? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's time for time-lapsing. And the question is, do I go in here and risk the airstrike? Or do I back up a little and just come into it? And problem is that's going to put me in a bad column. But I do have the contact. A lot of decisions. There's a lot of decisions. There's a lot of gambling here. And how do you want to play it? Let me think about this. All right, I'm going to gamble. We're going to gamble. We're going to do time lapse. 1, 2, 3. And we will go up here adjacent to this airfield, unfortunately. And see if we can't nail this guy down once and for all. Okay. So, we've done our naval search. We've done our time lapse. And now they get to seize the initiative. Try to seize. Good. They fail. We like it. Okay. Now, I think my choice is very clear. I got to get in here, catch this thing, and get the heck out of here before that airfield just lunches me. So let's do it again. That task force will spend its evasive marker to garner a -1 to the die roll. They will also support from here to garner another -1 to the die roll. Grrr, I don't like them stacking up all these modifiers. So that is actually the coordinating task force. I guess that's what we call it. This is what we're searching. Let me see something here. Okay, no, nothing there. All right, 2 - 2 to the dice. The good news is we're on this 1, 2, 3 plus 0 is 3. That puts them on the lowest column for a Navy search. So I think we're going to at least get them to a station, I hope. Unless I roll like really bad. It's a -2, so anything's possible. Come on, baby. Oh my gosh. That's a 3. And that's just going to be contact, which does absolutely nothing for us. Nothing happens. Oh dear. Okay. So, oh, I forgot the contact marker. That adds something. Hang on. The convoy is very slow. That's a +4. That's actually a, yes. So +4 is it, and 1, 2. It's actually +2 to me. So it's 5, 6, 7. 7 is going to get it done. 7 is going to drop them to that. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Nice. You have a chance here. But we have to face it. A 5 for time lapse. Nope. We're a station, so nothing happened in there. Now we need to buy initiative, and he gets a +1 to the die. So this would be very nice if we could get a decent die. We're not, of course not. So the initiative goes back to the British. And they might get away. And I might not get away. We check for weather first. Ooh, close, but the weather stays good. Now, what do the British do? Please don't say airstrike. Please don't say airstrike. Yes, it says airstrike. Of course it does. Okay. Okay. He's rolling on the lowest column, of course. Launching from here. Striking here. He's got modifiers at the wazoo. He's got +2. Well, +2. He's got +2 to his roll on the airstrike on the lowest column, which just isn't good news at all. All right. 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be a strike. That's going to be contact and a hit. Contact and a hit. We rolled the dice. We took a chance. And it's just not coming up for us. So we hit air. We're on contact. We don't sink them automatically. Our buddy, our pocket battleship, can only suffer 1 hit before him being flipped. So there it is, damaged, and now it's slow. Wonderful. Okay. Time lapse. Nobody's going to time lapse. And I think we're going to vie for the initiative again. OMG. I made a mistake back on the initiative chain. I did a naval search, and the British were supposed to seize initiative, not vie for initiative. Oh, that could be the difference. Oh, but how can you rewind it? Oh, that's just my bad mistake, and I guess I just got to take it as punishment. That's the only thing I can really think of. I can't really rewind all that, and or can I? Or should I? Because I already rolled the dice. Oh. Well, I'm just going to have to take it as punishment, I think, for not paying attention. That was supposed to be a seize initiative roll, not a vie for initiative roll. Okay. So they hammered us, and now it's our turn, and this is where we actually vie for initiative, when it's an airstrike, not when it's a naval search. That's seize initiative. Keep that in mind. Okay, vie for initiative. Oh, you could have at least given me that one. Ugh. So, like that, the British retain initiative, and here we go again. Let's see what they do. 5. Well, at least it's not an airstrike. Also, I forgot. No, never mind. I'm right. No problem. 5 is a completion action. Remove damaged battleships. If this British ship. Removed damaged British ships. If this empties a TF, remove it. Then select a British TF. Select the British TF with a convoy. If more than one, select the shortest trajectory. If more than once, no convoy in play. Well, no, that doesn't count. Hang on. Well, I'm going to rule that even though this is a station, I'm going to rule that this is a the shortest trajectory, because that is considered 0. 0 is a number. So that is the shortest trajectory. The action is going to be attempt to complete. The TF may need to perform a trajectory action first. Direct route, avoid. Here's one of those red. Yeah, okay. Here, I'll show you. Just so we're seeing. Right here. Then we get those red words. That's kind of like something to pay attention for. Direct route, avoiding intel triggers, if possible. If possible. That's an important distinction. Okay, so they're going to try to trajectory home. Or they're going to set up a trajectory. Now, the thing is, and it's nice that we got them on intel, because that's going to generate an intel marker on them. Now, I can just signals action them, but. So that's going to make it easier. As far as that goes. So intel, and then they go up, direct route possible to the Portsmouth. It's the same, well, let's see, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. It's either way. You know what? This is one where we're going to use his common sense. He would definitely want his trajectory under the cover of an airfield, I think, so I would do that. Then here. Then here. I'm trying to give the bot some optimal moves here. Okay. There he is. And now he would attempt to do a completion action. To prevent performing a completion action due to intel markers or trajectory length, the British pass instead after the trajectory action. Okay, so they're going to pass time-lapse, and they're going to time-lapse using the intel limit, because they definitely want this off. And so that is exactly what they will do. They have passed to us. Good for them. Now, it's to us. It's passed to us, and we have a weather check. No change in the weather. And now what do I do? Is it time to bring the Graf Spee in and try to make a run? Or I think I still want to fight. He's in with the completion range. He's going to complete if he rolls correctly, of course. I'm damaged though. That really, but I mean, I still don't have to battle him, so that's going in my favor. I'm going to be a little dogged here. This may not be the smartest thing I've ever done, but we've already paid blood so far. We're gonna throw good money after bad, and try to nab this guy here. 1, 2, or would it be better? No, this is actually pretty good because if it does happen, we can get out of too much hell. We gotta roll pretty good though, is the problem. That's what's been dogging me. Oh, initiative change. Let me make sure I move that back. Get our modifiers off here. All right, I think I got a naval search. The nice thing is this contact marker does not count against me in any way, shape, or form. It only when someone's after me is when that happens. Okay. Hopefully I don't just end up giving him another intel marker. Or evasive maneuvers marker. So, we're going to search here. They're not going to air support because it would be a 0 modifier, so they wouldn't bother. So we're going to split it there. Trajectory total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're on the 9 column. Oh boy, we got to roll bit. See, that's what really cheeses me. Is we got to roll a 10 to really make it sing. Well, here we go. Oh yeah, come on, dice, you're doing my job. Okay, so that's the result we were looking for because it is contact and station. Yes, all right. Let me do that. Contact here. And station in the target hex. So, all right. Thank you goes out to our Navy intelligence. We got him. We got him cornered here. We got him cornered in a pretty decent place as far as air cover goes. Okay, but the bad news is they get to try to seize initiative, not vie for initiative. Okay. Ugh. Ah, boy, I tell you what. Okay. Well, they have the initiative again. Just rolling terrible today. Okay, check the weather. Nope, of course not. What do the British do? Four. B, letter B is the code here, and that says blockade. Ah, good. You'll get to see this. I wanted anyone watching this to see this, just to see what happens. Create a new British task force. Place 3 cruisers in it, and it doesn't specify which cruisers. So I'm just kind of randomly grabbing my little counter tray here and pull out. Shake them up a little bit, and we'll pull out 3 guys. We got the Devonshire, the Sheffield, and the Trinidad. Okay, they're going into a task force. Place the trajectory for place the task force station in the hex shown here. Boom, blockade set up. Well, it makes it interesting for the Graf Spee if we ever can get him out. Now, just a further note on this is if this is the second or subsequent time this result is guarded on the action table and a British task force station is in the hex shown here, ignore this result and treat it as an ex-British action table result, which is a decisive action, which is trying to bring to battle. So, that's how that goes. So, we have created a new task force, which... And it tells us explicitly, roll again on the action table. Okay, so get another shot. Obviously, they don't lose the initiative. 4. Same result as that. Yep, remember? It said if they get the same result as last time, you're going to do an X action, which is a decisive action. All right, let me read the decisive action here. 2 British conflicts successfully... No, okay, that doesn't count. Select a British task force with a battle cruiser in it, not the French battle cruisers. So not these guys. They're still kind of hanging out. If none in play, select an unidentified task force. And if none in play, that's true, create an unidentified task force in Scapa Flow or Gibraltar, whichever is nearest a German task force. And that would be Gibraltar now, wasn't it? Now we get to see that unidentified things that I was talking about in the previous video. So that means boom. Now we don't know what's in here until we have to know what's in here. What does this mean? Action. The selected task force performs actions intended to bring battle the nearest German task force. No German can be targeted for naval search or engage action. Treat as a da-da-da. Okay, so guess what? They're going to trajectory and naval search over there. Like so. Oh, I need to look something up. So I wanted to look up, would they go here to try to split it? Would they go here for the contact marker? I think they're going to try, the spirit of the bot is I'm going to try to get as many modifiers as I possibly can. So they're going to come here. Like so. Trajectory action, that means that comes off. And now, obviously, a naval search on their part. Let's set that up. Here's our task force. Right there. Here's what we're searching. We can coordinate with some Air Force right here for a plus, is it +1 or +2? Adjacent, I believe, is +2. +2 it is. Contact marker on a slow ship is going to be +3. It's going to be +5. I don't like that. And we're looking at only a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trajectory. Thankfully, that's one column up, so it's not we're not doomed. But I think we're doomed because that's going to be a 5. That's going to be a 10. That's going to be a 10. It's going to be contact, which we already have. Like so. And this gamble I did is not paying off at all. Okay. A very successful naval search. In fact, there's only one thing better, and that is if it would have brought us into a skirmish automatically for one battle, which is probably all it would need, I suspect. Now, after the naval search, there will be a time lapse. Wait a minute. No. I thought there might have been an intel marker chance, but there isn't. Time lapse. He will time lapse. And guess where he's going to time lapse into? That's right. It's right on us. And so, it's time for us to have a chance at seizing the initiative after that naval search. Not vying for initiative. Boy, I really screwed that up. That's where I really screwed. I wonder if that whole thing could have been different if I had him seize and I kept the initiative. I wonder. We'll never know. Okay, so we're going to try to get that initiative back. It's a long shot. Of course not. A nice 3 there to end it up. So the British are going to retain the initiative. And we're going to roll to see what they will do next. That's the only saving grace here is we're going to roll to determine rather than just automatically engaging me. This video has gone on for 45 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this part 1 and stop here for the moment. And I'll leave you on a cliffhanger. Will our ship get away? Tune in next time. Thank you for watching.